Good evening, and Kiara, and welcome to my second live session. My name is Mary Joseph, your friendly and frank licensed immigration advisor. Um, so you're watching this on AJV Facebook page and YouTube link. Now, to start off with, I'd like to show my license, which is a requirement according to the IAA code, and my license number being 2018 01050. So yeah, it's a nice bright day here in Hamilton. I'm back in New Zealand now. I did my first live session last week from India, and this is my second live session. And I was traveling, and it was a crazy long flight, but then we had a 12-hour stopover in Singapore. Beautiful Changi Airport is just brilliant. I mean, you don't have to step out of the airport. It's just beautiful. We actually stayed at a transit. I was traveling in my little one. It's just going to be four in a couple of months, and so yeah, so it was amazing to actually be at the airport and do some activities, and then I'm still struggling with some jet lag. So that's what the story is at the moment. So yeah, I just quickly wanted to have a look and see if we have any comments. Sorry guys, I'm just tired, and I'm just still all over the place. I'm new, so I just hope I'm not really deviating too much. Anyway, so let me quickly have a look to see what my team is mentioning, if they have any questions to start off with. But yeah, not there's not much recent activity or any changes that we need to be worried about, or anything that's come up with the immigration aspects. No policy changes or anything. It's been quite you know calm at the moment, purely because everybody was at the Christmas break and they're just coming back and stuff like that. So yeah, it's an exciting year for all of us, purely because there's this huge change that happened last year. Immigration went out all out and gave like a really good scope and opportunity for all international students to come to New Zealand, study a program, and then stick on to look for a job for up to 3 years in New Zealand, and eventually, hopefully, if they find a suitable job offer and qualify for a resident class visa. So, immigration. It is this big leap that immigration New Zealand has taken. New Zealand is now probably the second most top what do you say required or sought after destination after Canada, because Canada was giving 3 years work visa. I cannot really talk about it in detail because I'm not aware of it. But here we are here to talk about New Zealand. So New Zealand took that leap and they gave 3 years as on par with what Canada was doing, and because of that, New Zealand's now become the second most sought after destination now for study and settlement options. So if you look at immigration New Zealand, they don't tell you, okay, just come study, just study. No, they talk about the opportunities for international students to stick on and look for further opportunities. So that 3 years work visa is very very important, and that is what the number one benefit for study in New Zealand is at the moment. So you study an appropriate program and you get your 3 years work visa, which is ample amount of time for you to be able to find a job and eventually what do you say, qualify for a resident visa. Now, in the past, we have been in this business for close to 2 decades now, and we've seen this industry growing tremendously. I mean, there was the initial times where they used to have only 6 months. When I started off working with New Zealand, in about 2005, they had only 6 months open work visa, and that's when they introduced the 1 year work visa. But over these 15 years, or say 13 plus years of my association with immigration New Zealand and migration in New Zealand, we have seen that with 1 year, people have been able to crack that resident class visa. They've been able to make a future out of that opportunity. And 3 years is three times. So we believe that if you take the right pathway, you consult the right people, you speak to the right advisors, you stay in touch with a licensed immigration advisor like myself, and we've got Arun and we've got Gisela on the team. So if you stay in touch and do the right thing, then you will be able to progress into your resident class visa with much more ease than what the students in the past have been able to. So we are very very confident. We've got a big team. It's just not is you might think it's just Arun and myself now that I'm doing the live session. It's just us. No, we've got a very very strong team to back us up. We have got a team of 25 advisors. We have got a team of 10 case officers who basically take care of your application. And also we have got a team here in New Zealand who will assist you after you reach New Zealand. So we've got an onshore team as well, which consists of three licensed immigration advisors. We've got a customer service manager who is Virginia, who takes care of all our clients at the moment, and we've got a backup team who takes care of all the documentation part. So there was this there was someone that I met over the holidays, and this girl wanted to, she's through a common friend, and she came to me and she said, oh, I didn't know that you're a licensed immigration advisor, and but then I've started my process. And I said, okay, what stage is it in? She said, oh, I've given my documents to my agent. I really don't know who this guy is, some guy in Pune. So she said, I've given my documents first week of December, and apparently he's on a holiday, and so he will apply after he comes back, and he's not been responding, is what she said. I said, why is someone whose intake is supposed to be in February has not applied yet? It's already December. You're supposed to put your visa application in. And she was like, oh, apparently he's on a holiday. I said, that doesn't work like that. You have to immigration, and this student visas is such a critical aspect. Immigration is taking 8 weeks now to process student visas. So I said, doesn't matter, my team works around the clock. There were people when we were on a Christmas break, there were people working to ensure applications submitted to us have been submitted. So that is the kind of what do you say, passion we work with, because for us it's important that you reach on time. Now this is what I've been talking to my team, and they said that people looking at for January, February, March intakes are still delaying, have not started their process, have not put in their applications. Please understand that applications will take time. It's going to take anywhere between 8 to 12 weeks, depending on which stage of your process is. If your IELTS is done, good, 1 week saved. If your loan is done, chalo, 2 weeks saved. But still, in total, you need about 4 to 8 weeks, because immigration is going to take that much of time to process your student visa applications. So this is an announcement, this is a caution, this is a request for all those who are looking at the January, February, March intake. Act now. Please do not wait and think, okay, let me see for other options. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so I kindly request you guys, all you guys interested for the January, February, March intake, to act immediately and start your applications. Before I end this session, I think my team, my marketing team, I've got a, oh, I didn't tell you, we've got a marketing team as well who does these our all these activities, online activities for us. We've got a brilliant marketing team. So my marketing team also told me that we're going to have an offer. I mean, it's just to encourage you guys to come in, work, not just work with us, but work quickly. Start your application as soon as possible. So working with us now. Why AJV? AJV is purely because we are friendly, frank, transparent. You've got a team of licensed advisors, plus we've got a team on shore who will assist you and guide you through after you've reached New Zealand, because the actual drama starts once you reach New Zealand. So it's not, honestly, anybody can do the first part, even you by yourself. But then what happens is, when there is a problem, that's where you will need expertise. And we see that at least 80% of the time people have problems with their profiles. You might think, oh, I have this, it doesn't really matter. There have been people who have visas declined, have not declared in their visa application. Immigration New Zealand has seen that and they've declined their visas. So there are some things that you might not know. The last week there was someone who was talking to me about third party sponsorship. You as a when you look at the immigration website, it could be misleading, because immigration website says yes, a third party can sponsor, but unfortunately there are also regional checklists, and the regional requirement is that a third party sponsor cannot sponsor you. Okay, so an uncle and an aunt cannot sponsor you unless there are proper reasonings. So what I'm saying is, it's important for you to stay in touch with us. It's important that you work with us, so that we can guide you through. Also, there are a lot of people who come onshore and then realize that they need help once they come here, and we tell them, sorry, we are a bit partial to our students, to AJV students. So we tell them, sorry, you're a non-AJV student, we cannot work with you. They get very, very upset. It's purely because guys, it's because we pamper you, we guide you, we prepare you. But a non AJV student, we have seen, is not prepared, as well prepared as an AJV student is. So it is difficult for us to pick you up from where you've left off. And also, it's an added benefit of being an AJV student. That's why work with us from the beginning. No matter which country you're in, India, China, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Mauritius, Brazil, USA, doesn't really matter what your origin, doesn't really matter what your nationality is, you can work with HAV. And we will guide you through with the same level of expertise and understanding that we've been doing all these years. And we've been seeing some amazing successes because of that. Brilliant. Moving on. Let's start questions. Enough of a lot of, it's banter or whatever. I'm doing it all by myself. So, anyway, so moving on, let's start with the questions. There are some questions coming in. I also see my lovely team who's joined. Righto, to start off with is Jagannath's Sarkar. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. I'm an AJV student. I have 4.5 years of mechanical engineering experience in L&T and technology services. I have applied for a graduate diploma, applied management, project management. I am planning to pursue my further career in project management. I am not directly aiming for project manager position, but at least a position in project management office in mechanical industry. Can you please advise on decisions of my further prospects? Sorry, future prospects. Sorry. Um, Jagannath, I'll be honest with you. I'm sure you would have seen Arun's previous sessions as well. We are not really happy about people shifting from a technical role into a management role for various reasons. Reasons being that in New Zealand, the work culture, especially in the areas of engineering and everything, are very, very different. They do not hire people in management roles ju- who are non-technical. So if you want to become if you want to become a project manager, you will have to actually grow within the what do you say, the hierarchy of the organization. They will not hire a project manager suddenly from the outside. Okay, they try to internally recruit. So it's always better, you'll have to grow from bottom up, right? So because of this, what happens is, you doing a management course will not make sense. Okay, because they're not going to hire you just because you have a management degree. Okay, so what we suggest is for you to continue in your mechanical role. Okay, the reason being that there are more jobs in mechanical technical roles, not in the management side, right? Now, for example, an XYZ mechanical company does mechanical engineering side of projects. um, you know they do they may have about 10 projects, right? In 10 projects, they may have like 50-50 people working in one project at different levels, but they will have only one or two project managers per project. So do you see what kind of numbers you're talking about, right? I see that you said that I'm not looking at a project management role, manager role, but however, all the other roles will be technical, most likely technical, unless you're getting into finance or anything else, which is purely a management or an accounting or HR and things like that. So any other role in that area in a project will be a technical role. So what I would suggest is that I would like you to visit something called seek.co.nz, which is our biggest job site here. Have a look and compare these opportunities you're talking about. You compare the opportunities that you're looking at in that area. Okay, in the non tech sorry non technical area. and then you will understand that there are more roles in technical when compared to the non-technical roles. Yeah. So that is what my sincere advice will be for you to look at technical courses in mechanical engineering, right? Sounds good. Moving on, we've got O'Neill Pandit. Hi, Mary. Good to see you online. AJV is the only way to go for all. Thank you very much, O'Neill. You hope you guys are doing well. O'Neill is one of our clients. We've got Kshitij Kotwal. How is logistics and supply chain industry in New Zealand, and what is the scope for a fresher? I am an AJV school student coming to NMIT for level 8 course in logistics and SCM. Thank you. Right, Shitish, thank you very much firstly for working with us. It's amazing to see AJV students writing to us and clarifying further doubts. So that's very good. So logistics and supply chain procurement managers are in long-term skill shortage list in New Zealand. However, we need to examine to see, because you're a fresher. I really need to understand why you're getting into as specific as logistics and supply chain. Because what happens, Kshitij, is you're going to compete with people or having 8 to at least a minimum of 5 to 8 years of experience in the area of supply chain. Yes, you may get jobs as buyers, as procurement, purchase officers, buyers, purchase officers, frontline accounts in supply chain and things like that. Who know people who prepare invoices and things like. But there's a long way before you get to becoming a procurement manager or a logistics manager. Now, my question to you is, because you do not have an experience, if you go to an employer and he says, hey, you don't have experience, so that is the reason we will not be able to give you any jobs in the area of logistics. Also because I'm not really sure what you have studied here. I'm assuming that you have done a management degree, so a bachelor's in commerce. I'd like my team to confirm on that. So if you've done a commerce degree, your best option will be to do a generic program. Now, why we suggest this is because you can find jobs in various areas, various roles, and not confine yourself just to supply chain and procurement roles, okay, and logistic roles. Because what happens is there is going to be a lot of competition. There's going to be a lot of competition, and you will need to have that scope open for you to be able to get into any area. So you can get into sales, you can get into marketing, you can get into accounts, you can get into operations, you can get into basic retail jobs. So you need to open up your scope, and that is possible only if you do a generic management program. If you're somebody with experience, then I would say, okay, you've got brilliant experience in supply chain, continue. But because you do not have experience, Kshitij, please request you to look at something more generic, which will widen your scope, because you have 3 years of time. You can work your way up in any area, because you're like, that fresh clay. You can be molded. If you're somebody with experience, it is difficult for, say, for you to move industries, for you to move from being, say, a supply chain person to something else. But since you're a fresher, you can actually be molded into any role in any industry. It's only that opportunity that you need to get. So I think it's best that you look at a generic course. I request my service team manager Gina to have a look at this profile and discuss with me again. His name is Kshitij Kotwal. So, Gina, please discuss this case with me. I'd like to have a look, because we wouldn't want any of our HAV students to pick the wrong courses, because we don't want to see them struggle after they come here. So it's important that we set things right while they're still in the process of looking for options. Yeah. So, Gina, please discuss with me, or if the application's still not with you, then I think we will need to discuss it with the sales team. So either one of you guys, please reach out to me regarding Kshitij. Right, sounds good. Moving on. I'm having trouble with Skype at the moment, guys. Team, if you're seeing, I'm having a bit of trouble with Skype on my laptop. I'm just quickly going to do that on the phone. Right. I don't see too many questions coming though. We'll just It's pretty windy out here today. Right, okay. Right, sounds good. Okay. So moving on. Okay, next question. Mafez Faisal Muhammad. Hi, do you have environment science? Um, okay, I think the Skype is paused. I can see my Facebook has. Okay. Sorry guys, there's a bit of a technical glitch. I think I'm still live on YouTube, but I can't see anything on Facebook. Guys, can you confirm if you guys can see me on Facebook? Team, can you please confirm that y'all can see me on Facebook? I seem to have some trouble with it. Okay, so looks like my Facebook. No. Okay. Just a second, guys. I think it's paused. I might have to restart. I'm just gonna also pause my. Okay, we're having a bit of a trouble, guys. Please don't mind. Just gonna end this one for a minute, the YouTube, and